Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect, double speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. And man, we are off to a fast start. Chalice at 1, and then a Karn, the great creator here. Lucas, with his back up against the wall, is able to daze the Karn. And will that be all from Matt here? Can he actually follow up from this incredible start? Oh, another Karn. Holy cow. That is graphic. He goes to grab Liquid Metal Coating. And Lucas is going to be in a world of hurt very shortly. Liquid Metal Coating resolving, Karn ticking up, taking out Lucas's land. Magus of the Moon, and he's got it all here. That gets dazed. Ooh, a little sequencing issue there. He could have actually turned that Tundra into a mountain that would not have been able to be returned to daze, but not punished at all for it. Matt taking down game number 1 off of a fast Chalice of the Void. And Karn, great creator, so showing some serious speed there. And Lucas opting to scoop it up as well. It's not entirely clear how much longer that game would have taken. Would have been a pretty difficult thing to get out of. Chalice at 1 and losing every single land. You basically need to hit fetch lands and start like digging your way toward a 2-mana spell that can possibly get you out of it. A lot to ask. And Lucas choosing to scoop it up. I often say here on the channel, it's one of the biggest distinctions differences in between playing kitchen table Magic versus, kind of entering tournaments into getting really good at tournament gameplay, is actually learning when to scoop. I think there are tiny percentage points that kind of differ toward the top end of the game. Once you reach a certain level of experience, you're talking you've been playing in tournaments, 10 years, and you've got just thousands of hours of gameplay, a real understanding of the game. It really ends up being little percentage point differences in between the people who are the most successful and, people who will occasionally top 8 a GP or, put up a good result, maybe win a big tournament here and there. People who have the more consistent results. It tends to just be those little differences in how tight they play in different situations. So, maybe you're only 5% to win a game. That tight play can make the difference in that one game, can make the difference in the match, in the tournament, and so on. So, and that time management is actually one of them. So, we'll see how this goes with Lucas. He did scoop up very quickly. But that may give him enough time to win both games 2 and 3 versus a really difficult deck. And we've got a Daze on Chalice of the Void, and Matt calmly exiles Simian Spirit Guide to pay the 1, forcing Lucas to double dip and Force of Will, pitching a Delver. So that Chalice has been stopped. And now Matt playing a Morph, likely Zoetic Cavern. Cavern really just another body, another way to win, in a deck that is really just hellbent on stopping people from playing Magic. You've got Chalice and Blood Moon. This particular build is a Renin 6 build, I believe. We'll see how those changes come out. And there's actually Renin 6. But in between Chalice and Blood Moon, really looking to prevent your opponent from doing anything that resembles Magic. You're happy for them to politely draw and discard each turn until you beat them to death with a pair of Zoetic Caverns. Now, Stoneforge Mystic gonna have something to say about this, though. Lucas opting not to Wasteland in the face of Wrenn and 6. Matt could just get it right back. And here he goes, Simian Spirit Guide. Wrenn ticking up no targets. And Batterskull does look like a big problem here. Brainstorm. So much better when Chalice is not on the board. Let's see if he can assemble the best combo in the game. Brainstorm plus fetch. Swinging for 4. Fearlessly here. Totally fine to let the Germ token die as the Batterskull sticks around and can be returned for 3 mana. And a True Name Nemesis. And now a more interesting line, potentially, is if Lucas can draw another land, he can equip the True Name Nemesis and let him go to town. 7 points of lifelink damage a turn. True Name super happy to be wearing pants. Anytime he can pick up a piece of equipment, it buffs up that fairly unimpressive stat line. 3-1 is not the most intimidating thing. But once he starts wielding equipment, man, is he gruesome. And there we go. Umezawa's Jite getting a couple of counters. And this can easily remove Magus of the Moon or this Zoetic Cavern. Land Grant. Grabbing Sheltered Thicket, which can be cycled and potentially brought back with Wrenn and 6. That's exactly what happens. No, he's actually going to grab the Zoetic Cavern and morph it out. So he played the City of Traders from hand and then put out the 2/2 morph. Yeah, this is very bad here for Matt. This Jite protecting True Name from Plague Engineer as well. If he is digging toward that answer, it will not do. Actually, he would have to swing one more time for it to work. So no, true. That was the one turn where Plague Engineer would have worked. If he landed a Plague Engineer there, Lucas only had 2 counters on it. So he'd have to remove one to ping, and then when he removes the second one to ping, then it would die as a state-based effect before that second counter would resolve. So Jite can really be a problem for Plague Engineer once it gets rolling, but Plague Engineer will actually trump the strategy if it gets down early enough. And that has become the premier way of dealing with True Name Nemesis at this point. There were a lot of kind of cutesy cards that were played in Legacy to deal with that merfolk. We've seen things like Zealous Persecution, Golgari Charm, Shrivel style cards that give the teams -1/-1, or in some cases -2/-2. Marsh Casualties could do both. You could kick it for 5 mana to give your opposing team -2/-2, or just run it out there at 2 to shrink by 1. And at this point, Plague Engineer has really just become the default answer. Not only does he give -1/-1 to the opposing team of a certain creature type, but it also, choke, turn 1 choke, can trade with something like a Goyf if necessary. So turn 1 choke gets Force of Willed, Land Grant, revealing the hand, goes to grab a Taiga, and Lucas, undeterred, goes on to drop a Delver of Secrets. Magus of the Moon now, but Lucas does have down a basic island. He will be able to cantrip and potentially just win this race. Matt looking like he's low on resources here. Simian Spirit Guide into Karn, so scratch that. What is Karn gonna grab? Sword of Fire and Ice. And Delver not flipping. Choke. Karn digging again. Grabbing Umezawa's Jite, so a pair of equipment here. If this Sword of Fire and Ice resolves, it's going to be a problem. These Delvers just not flipping at all. Another mountain added to the board. We are in game number 3 here. Dryad Arbor. That is going to be a 1/1. Sword of Fire and Ice. And now a Delver going down. Umezawa's Jite. And Lucas extending the hand. And Matt taking that one down in 2. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.